Soldier boy, tell. Soldier boy, tell.
What's up? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Garage. I'm Chris. My friends call me the Candyman. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining the stream. Let's get back in these streets and draft some teams. Coming up tonight, the Poodle 2. Yes. First Poodle 2 draft. Poodle 2, Poodle 1. 8 more to fill. And we're going to be doing 2 at a time. The Poodle 1. It's the first Poodle. Ooh, 7 and 11. So we got some time. Let's get these filled up. How's it going tonight? Thanks for joining the stream. I'm chilling out here in the garage tonight, quite literally in the Fantasy Football Garage, and gonna be drafting 2 Poodle teams. Waiting on 5 people in this first room. Turn the music down just a bit. What's going on? It's a 20 max tournament, a $7 entry. I think there's a lot of things about this tournament that I like. There's 310 person final, which is pretty sweet. The advancing is 2 out of 12, and then I want to say it's 1-5, 1-6 advancing on. We've got the draft filled up. See any familiar names up here? If you are in the chat and you're drafting one of these poodles, or if you want to draft one of these poodles, there's 9 spots left to go in the second poodle. In the first one, it's filled up, and we'll be drafting out of the 6th spot in the first draft. Still 4 more people in the second draft until we fill. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope you're having a great weekend. Having a nice Saturday, summer day. And we're out here drafting. It's a late night, it's a late Saturday night. But it's the perfect time to be out drafting best ball teams. Early June. Always drafting. Sweet. All right, the second draft is going to start soon. Let me go ahead and pull open the board on this one. CMC goes off the board with the first pick in our first draft. So the 6th spot in our first draft, the 7th spot in the second poodle. Nice. See what we can cook up tonight. I'm excited. I fired off my golden earlier. Actually, that's why I was thinking this was the second poodle, because earlier I fired off the golden too. I don't really like my team though as much. I'm not in love with it. I liked my first golden draft better, where I ended up with Stroud and Caleb Williams. My golden 2 today went with, I got sniped. I was every quarterback I wanted was getting taken, so I ended up with 3 quarterbacks going Drake May, JJ McCarthy, and Justin Fields, which can still work out, but not typically my favorite 3 quarterbacks to have it on any one team, especially a one single entry tourney. I'd rather have an elite quarterback, or maybe just not those 3 guys, because I was kind of scrambling when it came down to it. Scrambling to make the QB selections. Let me flip back over to this board. I take Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 overall. Took him over Brees, took him over Bijan. Just kind of how I'm feeling tonight. Wanting to start wide receiver heavy, but easily could have taken one of those guys. I'm on the clock over here, and I think with this team I am going to take Bijan here. Could also take Brees. It's kind of a coin flip for me right now, but I'm leaning Bijan. So let's see what's up. The cool thing about doing 2 at a time, having a similar draft position, one is a little ahead of the other right now, but I'm sure the pace can change, so they might catch up to each other. But what's cool is I can see the picks going around me that other people are making, and potentially get a little insight there. So I always like, especially if I'm gonna, not just when I'm double tabling and doing like 2 drafts at once, but if I've got drafts that I'm doing throughout the day, after I finish one of those drafts, I like to look at the board before I get into my next draft and figure out where players are going. You know, even in the same day, you'll see players going in a wide range of picks, you know, plus or minus the ADP. We're on the clock with the second one over here. I like Devontae Adams here. Devontae Adams or Ayuk. It's a toss-up for this one. Let's go Ayuk tonight, I think is what I want to do. Could easily have gone with Devontae Adams. I think he's a great pick in the second round. The tiebreak for me there was probably just this week 17 correlation I've got going with the Detroit Lions playing the San Francisco 49ers in week 17. It's a matchup I'll definitely be looking forward to. I think it's one of the better Week 17 matchups to get some of those guys in. On the clock, pick 18. Nico Collins is there. He's on my team. It's going to be a start with Nico Collins and Bijan Robinson. I'm pretty familiar with that start. Very high on Nico. I think Nico's my wide receiver 8 overall this year in best ball. So I'm willing to take him with any pick in the second round. And, you know, I don't want to lose out on all the other receivers in the second round, like Devonta Adams, Brandon Ayuk, you know, Chris Olave, even Drake London and Marvin Harrison, but I want to have a higher exposure to Nico Collins. So I'm going to take Nico preferentially, and I'll sprinkle in the other guys kind of when I feel like it and see where it goes. But that's just a player take I'm willing to make right now at this point in the season to increase my exposure a little bit on Nico. Whew. Man, I'm sweating out here in the garage. It is a hot and humid day in Houston. And drafting 2 poodles at once. The first one was Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk. The second one here is a Bijan Nico team. About 5 picks away in both of them. On the clock. DJ Moore could be a fun pick here. Is it too soon for Laporta? That's not something I've had that I've been able to get to so far in a lot of my drafts, is getting a Amon-Ra with Laporta. Could be a fun way to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and take DJ Moore there. Give myself a couple more paths. If I take Laporta there, I'm really selling myself down on the path of taking Jared Goff later and going with the Detroit Lions all the way. Getting DJ Moore, which I think is another great pick in this range, just gives me a little bit more options. So I'm not fully committed to Lions this early in my draft. Nico and Bijan. I think it's either Zay or Tank. Zay Flowers. Yeah. I love Zay Flowers in the 3rd round, especially the second half here. I've already got Nico. I'll continue to build up that bet. I'll take Zay Flowers usually ahead of Derrick Henry. I don't mind taking Derrick Henry there also with Nico. So just going Bijan early is kind of what steers me towards Zay Flowers there for the way this team builds. Cool. So after I take DJ Moore, Laporta, of course, goes a few picks later. Pretty standard stuff through 3 rounds. So these are actually my first 2 poodle drafts. It did launch earlier today, and I hadn't had a chance to draft them so far. Wanted to get a few in on the first day. Potentially could want to max this tournament. It's only a 20 max, so keeping that option open. You got to start drafting some of these teams. Get your numbers up. We'll see how many I can draft tomorrow. Maybe I'll live stream again tomorrow night. Good chance. 7 picks away, but over here I'm 4 picks away. Could be a good spot for Lamar. On the clock here. It's a fun McBride spot. ETN's there. I think McBride. A few picks away, Lamar Jackson's still available. Let's jump back. So I started out in the first draft with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk. Followed it up with DJ Moore in the third, Trey McBride in the fourth. That's a squad right there. I love a start like that. I can go in any direction. I could go with Goff, Purdy, even Caleb Williams, and then Kyler Murray. So I've got 4 different quarterback options to pair up. That's the kind of start I want to do more often than not. Bummer, Lamar Jackson does not make it back, but that's all right. Let's see what else we can cook up here. I don't think this is the Trey McBride team. I'm not obsessed with taking T. Higgins here, but I will do it. I mean, it's not a bad pick. We're talking about the 5th round here, 4th round here. I think it's going to end up being T. Higgins and just another depth piece at receiver. Yo, what up, Dale? Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're having a fantastic night, my man. I'm out here chilling, but I'm literally sweating in the garage. But I'm out here chilling, drafting these 2 drafts. Let me know if you've drafted any poodles so far, or if you're just out there drafting some other tournaments, just chilling. Okay, after Trey McBride in the first draft, I'm kind of waiting to see which running backs, which wide receivers are going to make it back to me. Travis Etienne off the board, James Cook, Pacheco. Pacheco would be a really nice pick
Soldier Boy, tell.
in the middle of the 5th round. Doesn't make it back. Goes to 5-1. After I take T. Higgins, kind of a run on wide receivers, Pickens, Cooper, Kirk. I don't know that I take T. Higgins over those 3 every single time. I'm pretty high on Terry McLaurin, actually. And it's a bit... I wouldn't say it's really a reach to take Terry McLaurin where I took T. Higgins. It's just a little bit more... where his current ADP is, like he can sometimes make it back around, so I could push that a little bit. Maybe it'll work out. Cool, on the clock, and then over here, a few picks away. I was just talking him up, he's still there. Doesn't fit quite as well with this team, but another dynamic wide receiver could be good. Middle of the 5th, either him or X on this team. I could take Anthony Richardson around ADP. I'm going to go Terry here. Nice. Yeah, Dale said he drafted 3 this morning in the Hound 2. That's what's up. Yeah, I don't know yet if I'm going to be maxing the Poodle. I definitely want to get in a decent number. We'll see if I can make it to 20 before it closes. It feels like it's going to close pretty quick, although it typically will slow down during the week just a bit. All right. Pick 55. Could easily take X here. I don't really have a great reason to take Mahomes ahead of him, or Anthony Richardson, or Cook, or Reed. Obviously could go Stroud here. Take Xavier Worthy. Let's see what happens with Stroud. there's a very slim, almost no chance he comes back around. But the guy who took Tank Dell did take Josh Allen already, and Patrick Mahomes was still on the board. So very, very slim chance. I'm going to make a bet that CJ Stroud does not make it back around to me. But if he does, that'll be sweet. That'll be a hell of a team, a hell of a start. On this one, I took Terry McLaurin. I do like building out teams around Jaden Daniels. So now I have that option too. I gotta stop leaving it on the board. It really messes up the picks. I don't know why it does that. It makes it seem like the tab, it usually says 2 picks away, 5 picks away, but if you leave it on the draft board, it messes with it. On the clock here, of course, Xavier Worthy's still there. So is Joe Mixon. Ken Walker. I think I'm going to take Ken Walker in this build. Gives me that Seattle and Chicago Week 17 correlation, just something to build out. It's not a bad place to take a Ken Walker. Obviously, Mixon was still there. This isn't the team where I'm making that Texans bet. Could have gone Odunze, could have taken Xavier Worthy. A lot of good options on the board there for me. Let's be surprised. Of course not. I'm pretty sure I called that one. The drafter takes uncorrelated CJ Stroud. Doesn't let him come back to me at ADP. That's all right. I could go Anthony Richardson here. I could go Joe Mixon. Continue to build out the Texans. Ladd, Brian Thomas. Let's take a Joe Mixon. Probably should have gone Anthony Richardson there, but maybe we can make something else happen later at QB. Although I don't really love taking Joe Burrow with T. Higgins alone, I'd much rather have Jamar Chase on a Joe Burrow team. Let's check back in over here. Brock Purdy goes extremely early, 71 overall. So let's check him off the potential QB list. We can still get Goff, Caleb, Jaden, and Kyler. Kyler has not gone yet. I think I'm gonna, at pick 78, I could queue up Kyler here. I don't mind Aaron Jones. Could take David Montgomery. I'm going to take Kyler. We'll see who comes back around. Probably take a running back in round 8. Or see what the board gives us at least. But yeah, I'm fine with taking Kyler Murray there with Trey McBride. There's a few more Rams options. Usually if I've got Trey McBride, I'm kind of hoping I also have Puka or Cooper Kupp. If not, Kyron. Yeah, that's what's up, Dale. Saying last year was your first in best ball. First year entering tournaments or just doing best ball kind of style drafts? yeah, we're all out here just getting better. I think the game is still, there's a lot to be solved. There's a lot to learn. And the only way to get better is to do more drafts, to watch other cool people who are drafting and putting out research, putting the work in, putting out the content, whether it's written or streaming, and just, yeah, that's the way to get better for sure. I'm in that boat, trying to get better, having fun. The process, you got to enjoy the process. For these large field tourneys, it can be really difficult, and if you can't expect to advance too many teams, even with volume. Let's see what we can do here. This could be Joe Burrow, but like I said, don't love taking Joe Burrow with just T. Higgins. Take Lad McConkey. Rashee Rice. I'll go Lad there. A slight value compared to his ADP. Gives me one more out. Maybe I go with Justin Herbert, who has been falling a lot too. Last year was my first year seriously entering best ball tournaments with some amount of volume. First time entering Best Ball Mania was BBM4. Just around February last year, started to really see the whole picture about these best ball tournaments and get amped up, and then started following the content. Read the Best Ball Mania Manifesto from Michael Leone at ETR. That's one of my favorite pieces of content to reread about how to build out teams, allocate draft capital. That's a evergreen piece. He said he was working on some updates to it too, so excited to see when that comes out. And then, yeah, just drafting with the community and entering a few different types of tournaments with different size fields. You can get different results. That's always fun. James Conner's here. Aaron Jones is still here, though. Can I pass up on Aaron Jones? Hardly. Like, why is no one taking Aaron Jones? Why would he fall this late? I think I take Aaron Jones here, even with James Conner giving me some Arizona correlation. So let's do that. Scoop up the falling value there. Maybe James Conner makes it back around. If not, which I don't think he will, I could always go with Trey Benson or Corum. Maybe Corum's the guy I want. So yeah, this team is the Bijan team. Bijan, Nico, Zay Flowers, missed out on Lamar and CJ Stroud. That's just how the dice kind of, that's how it rolls. That's the hand we're dealt. Jonathan Brooks here, pick 90. I think it's a great value. Somehow Kyler Murray's still there as well, but it doesn't work for me on this team. I'm looking at my options. There's Brock Bowers there, is a fun pick. It's going to be Jonathan Brooks. And I'm going to chill at running back for a bit. I mean, this is the zone, rounds 8, 9, 10, where you really should be taking a lot of running back, quarterback, tight end, avoiding kind of what I would think is the tier drop off at wide receiver. After you get past Sutton and Lockett, after you get past Mitchell, a lot of these guys are just kind of guys. And so go take your guys, take a couple stands on them, take players that are going to correlate well with your earlier draft selections. But I like to have a decent wide receiver core going into that range. I've got 5 on this team, so I feel good about that. But it's time to find a quarterback and a tight end over here on this squad. It's getting a bit late. We're already 8 picks in. This team, James Conner, I'd say there's a 30% chance he falls to me. I started out with almost a 0 RB build. You could call Kenneth Walker potentially a hero RB in this type, but definitely on the lower allocation of RB draft capital so far. Ninth in Puppy 4, man, congrats. That's a great finish. How'd you do that? Who was on your team? Did you have the classic CeeDee Lamb Amon-Ra? Did you have Amari Cooper? It's always fun. James Conner goes one pick before me. Could have seen that coming a mile away. I only have 4 wide receivers, so this is a team where I could be looking to take another one. I'm going to go ahead and queue up Caleb at pick 102. See if Lockett comes back after that, or Benson. Cool. It's going to be a Kyler Caleb Williams team. I've already got DJ Moore. Kenneth Walker bring back. I got to do something else with Arizona and Los Angeles Rams here, though. Two picks away in the second draft. What do we got going on? Pick 103 in a similar spot. See, this is that team I would have wanted McLaurin on this team. Don't have any Washington players. I could take Jaden Daniels, though. Still. Jaden Daniels is a fun click. With Brock Bowers gone. Bowers, Lockett, players I would have wanted. James Conner, maybe. Go ahead and take Jaden Daniels. And then I'll make it work on the back end. So we'll have to figure out if we're going to be drafting Ben Sinnott, Luke McCaffrey, Jahan Dotson, maybe even pair Jaden Daniels with, or just take naked Jaden Daniels and take more Falcons. So Dale says he had Lamar, but Pickens and Carr and Juwan Johnson helped me in. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Juwan Johnson was a great selection. Ended up helping in the playoffs. And then mostly Lamar. Pickens had that huge game. I was a little bit underexposure on Pickens, I want to say, last year. This first team feels just a little bit better. Obviously, we're weaker at running back and wide receiver in total through the same kind of point in the draft. But we've got 2 QBs. We got an elite tight end stacked up with one of our QBs. Is Trey Benson the move? I think he could be. What else do we have here? It's going to be Trey Benson. Cool. So I'll take Trey Benson there. Continue to build out my Arizona Cardinals. The next pick in my second draft is coming up soon. 3 picks away. Pick 114. The 6th spot, and so that's a 10th round pick. This is the range. Yeah, quarterbacks, running backs are, I think, have a little bit more upside here than a lot of the wide receivers who are generally available. I took Ladd. I could take another bet on the Chargers, double down with Josh Palmer. I don't hate that, but I'm decently strong at wide receiver. What's the move? Could go Brian Thomas, take a bet on the Commanders. I've already got Jaden Daniels, got the Bijan bring back. I don't know if I need that necessarily, though. Not the team for Purdy. Yeah, I'm going to go Palmer there. If I scroll down a bit, you can see I've got my last two picks are Ladd McConkey and Joshua Palmer for my wide receivers on this second Poodle draft. We're going to be looking to take Justin Herbert at some point. Had Diggs. Yeah, what happened with Diggs? He really fell off the second half of the season. I'm obviously pretty pumped on Diggs signing, going to the Texans, but making a bigger, I think, bet in best ball on Nico and Tank Dell than Diggs necessarily. I'll still take Diggs though. 11th round pick coming up. Feeling good at tight end and quarterback. This is a spot I'm looking for falling value at running back. Although through 11 picks, I do kind of feel like I need another wide receiver pretty soon. I've only got 4 through 10, which feels very thin. I've got 4 good ones though. That's why I'm not so worried. And I kind of, seeing that Goff is still available makes me think I kind of could have held back on Caleb Williams, taking Goff here, taking another running back earlier. Chase Brown's available. Josh Downs is on the board. I'm going to take Downs here. I'm a little bit okay. I'm okay with this running back room where it's at. I don't have to take Chase Brown there. Bigger bet on Trey Benson. Give me some wide receiver depth for all of those, the week-to-week volatility. 1 pick away over here. On the clock, a 1-3-6-0. Let's pick 127. Herbert doesn't make it back around. You just hate to see it. Could this be the Chase Brown team? Could be the Eckler team. I think that's fine. I didn't take Brian Robinson. I ended up getting Eckler. Probably can take one more running back and be done in this running back room. So just a team bet on the Commanders. Huge bummer. The guy takes Herbert. Already had Tua. Not sure why he took Herbert there. We'll never know. That's all right, though. Jaden Daniels was a good move, picking him up early, getting that upside, rushing upside quarterback. I can still build around him late. I've got some tricks up my sleeve for late QB. There's a few options we can do. The problem with Jaden Daniels is the Week 14 bye kind of limits some of those options, so we'll have to get tricky. Build something out with our select few remaining wide receiver picks, considering I'm already 6 deep at wide receiver through 11 rounds. Other sports for fantasy? Yeah, I've drafted, I'm 2 seasons deep in drafting best ball teams for PGA. So fantasy golf is a lot of fun. Really good sweats. I like the Scramble. Is a really hard tournament. The Albatross is a little bit easier. Majors only. That's a fun one. All right, going to be on the clock with both of these picks. Let's focus in. Pick 139 on this team. Looks like it could be a wide receiver. Don't need much else. Actually, could be a running back. Could be Dowdle. Queue up Dowdle and come back over here. Kirk and Bijan. Bijan and Kirk. And then Falcons play the Commanders. And so I've also got that correlation built in with Kirk, Austin Eckler, Bijan. Kind of sucks when you don't get London and Pitts, but I don't need Kirk Cousins to be my every week quarterback. Jaden Daniels could be that guy. I'm looking for rookie season RG3 reincarnated into another Washington quarterback, rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels. I think that's the upside we have here. So, a few picks away. Meatwad, what up, brother? How you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thanks for joining the stream, jumping in the chat, saying what's up, brother. Ripping the late night stream. You already know. Yeah, I know. I'm Central Time, so I mean it's late, but it's not that late. You know what I'm saying? I'm Central Time, and I also kind of live a little bit in the Pacific Time zone mentally. More on that later. But okay, we got some picks coming up, and it's getting to be crunch time. This one's looking pretty good. This draft's looking solid. Can really go wide receiver or running back with my next picks. The other team needs some help, so let's get there. Oh, okay. This is the one
Soldier boy, tell.
without tight end. $151. I didn't feel the need to go running back there. There's some options. Don't need a running back or wide receiver just yet there. Went ahead and grabbed Hunter Henry a little bit early. This team is looking like it could be a good spot to take a wide receiver. I'm pretty high on Polk. Got some bye week issues. Just slightly. I think we can overlook that for now. How else do we play this? Pearsall is intriguing. I've already got Ayuk. I think I'll stick with that. It's a bummer that I didn't get Cole Kmet on this team either. I don't feel like I have to get Cole Kmet on every Caleb team. He went just before my other pick. That's why we didn't see him there when I took Dowdle. Could definitely use another running back on this squad. Whoops. There we go. And we're back. Let's look at the board. Five picks left. So far, it's a 2-4-6-1 build. Dowdle's still there. I'm going to take him. I passed on him a bunch of times. No one wants him in this room. I'll take him here. Makes it easy for me. Probably could stop at those 5 running backs. Feeling pretty good about it. You know, I think it's time on this team. We'll see. It could end up being... Yeah, it's a bummer too. Where did Ben Sinnott go? You hate to see it. I was looking for Sinnott here. Could have taken him ahead of Hunter Henry. Might have been a good choice. That's what happens when you're double tabling. Sometimes you don't see that late tight end guy you should have had. Dale's in the West Coast. Meatwad's West Side. Nice. I spent a fair amount of time out in Seattle, so I got a West Coast mindset a little bit. And I got plenty of family out in the Bay Area. 8 picks away. We're on the board. We're on the clock with this one. I could take upside with the Jalen Wright just for fun. I'm trying to think if there's a player that fits my team more appropriately that's still available. Looks like it's Jalen Wright team. Definitely could be the type of draft where I take 6 running backs. It's kind of looking like that. Probably good with 2 quarterbacks. So it's going to be a 2-6-8-2. I could think that we'd end up there pretty easily. That would be 1 more RB, 2 more wide receivers, and another tight end to finish out the draft with the last 4 picks. Let's get it 3 picks away with the Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins team. Really leaning into this Week 17 game. I don't know if I need another quarterback here either. Was really hoping to get Justin Herbert earlier on, and he got completely sniped out from under us. Rico in the 160 is pretty nice. Yeah, I don't hate that at all, right? I miss out on getting Ben Sinnott stacked up with Jaden Daniels. Kind of a bummer. Maybe I should prioritize more of these Washington players and Falcons players, since I'm already so committed here to this game. I'm gonna be up with pick 176. Definitely the range where Luke McCaffrey can go. Jalen Wright's still on the board. That's a nice pick, well past ADP. I don't need another running back though, is the thing, and I just got my value on Dowdle. So unfortunately, I'm going to pass on Jalen Wright. I think the right thing to do is to take Luke McCaffrey here. Go ahead and make that pick. 3 picks left. And I need a tight end or 2. Probably don't want 2 though. Was literally just talking about how I'm trying to take more 2 tight end builds. Not really coast, but in Oregon. Hell yeah, man. Oregon's great. Love it out there. I used to grow up visiting my family in the Bay Area, and we would drive up the 5 to Oregon and go chill out in the mountains and do some hiking, do some exploring. Always fun to do a road trip on the West Coast. So yeah, I love it. Even not being right on the coast, I mean, it's beautiful out there. Dang. All right, where are we going to go with this pick? Caleb and Kyler. That's the obvious choice, right? I feel like that was the obvious choice. Michael Wilson. I am going to need a tight end to finish out this draft, so keep an eye on that. This one's one pick away. This is the Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins team. We just took Luke McCaffrey. Could use another tight end. Only a few picks left in this draft. 3 picks left. Pretty good at running back. For wide receiver, Atlanta, Washington, no one's there. No one's really there I'm going to want. 14. Just throw out a Jonnu. It's a little bit early. Don't love that pick, but felt like it was kind of just, it seems like we're kind of punting tight end a little bit on this one. It could be the 3 tight end build because I feel fine with where we're at wide receiver, and running back feels done. Jaleel or Antonio. Yeah, I thought about that, right? I just feel like this running back room with Bijan, Mixon, and Brooks could be all I need there. It's tough to say. And there's always a shot a guy like Braylon Allen will still be there with like one of my later picks. Could be a fun pick. But yeah, let's keep this in mind. 2 tight ends. Probably another wide receiver. So wide receiver, maybe a tight end, maybe 2 wide receivers, maybe a running back. Feeling pretty good at quarterback. 3 picks away over here. Just took Michael Wilson. These, I could stop at 7. These are some sick wide receivers. Definitely need a tight end over here. Oh God, 2 picks away, 1 pick away. By week 11. Could be Fant. On the clock over here. Queue up Braylon Allen. I don't know that I want him on this team, though. I'm just taking him because it's a fun pick. I don't know, though. Probably should go wide receiver. I'm going to stop at tight end with those 2. Call it a day at tight end. And pick another wide receiver to finish out this draft. Probably someone. Oh, did we have him queued up? Please tell me we had him queued up. Yeah, Noah Fant. That's right. I think Noah Fant's a fine pick there. Gives me a little bit of that NFC West that picks that I got going on here. With this team, 2-5-7-2. Definitely the team that I would look to take another running back. I mean, I could stop with 5. Let me look at my bye weeks on receiver. Not terrible. Got 3 receivers on a week 14 bye. But these receivers are really strong. I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. That's fair. Non-derogatory. Perfectly cromulent pick. Yeah. That's what we're all about. You know, just trying to make the picks that make the most sense. Scoop up some value when we can get it. Take advantage of correlation. I don't think... What was I saying? Could do another wide receiver, right? Damn. Completely dropped the ball. Going for Rams. I thought we had that covered. I would have taken Corum or even Robinson at one point. That's all right. For a 310 size final, I probably would want a Rams bring back on this squad, but it might not be 100% necessary. 1 pick away, 5 picks away. Let's jump over here. This is the team with our last pick. We need a wide receiver. Yeah, and the other tight ends. Throw in a Rondale Moore, and then double check anything else we'd want. We're definitely good at running back. Good, could be good at tight end. Could throw one more in. I don't see anyone there I have to have. Tucker Kraft's an intriguing name. Zach Ertz could have been a pick, but not completely necessary. And I don't have full faith in Zach Ertz making it to week 17. So, Rondale Moore it is. Kind of a fun pick. I'm bummed I didn't get any Rams over here. That was my bad. Definitely would have liked to have taken another Rams player. 2 picks left though, and it's a 2-5-7-2. Feeling like I could take one more running back. I'm good at tight end. I do feel good at receiver, except the fact that I've got 3 of my 7 out on a week 14 bye. And in this case, it's going to be a 2-6-8-2 build, most likely. Taking one more RB, one more wide receiver. I don't know there's any Cardinals left that I have to have. We just saw there's no Rams. The Seahawks got it covered. So let's just take best available, either running back or wide receiver, that I think I would like to have on this team. I take another receiver on a week 14 bye. I take Tez Walker, who I think could be a difference maker, could earn a role as the second wide receiver in Baltimore by the end of the season. So just an upside pick. Unfortunately, another week 14 bye, but we'll make it through. What is that? That'd be 4 out of my 8 receivers on bye. Not ideal, but none of the running backs are going to be on bye that week, which can help out covering the flex spot. Any leans on Theo or Bellinger? And how you feel about the Giants tight ends? Asks Meat Wad, now that it's semi-likely Wall retires to make music. Yeah, 100%. I have a slightly higher exposure on Bellinger. I was talking to Pat about this earlier on his stream. Shout out to the Fantasy Dog Pound. Always holding it down. Dude's killing it. He streamed twice yesterday, twice today. And we had a good time talking about some of those drafts that he was triple tabling the pool. And yeah, I'm a little bit higher on Bellinger. I think, what is Bellinger but a Theo Johnson with 2 years of NFL experience? And last year I got pretty steamed up on Bellinger when he released, when the Giants social media team released a photo of his biceps from him at training camp. And if you saw the picture, if you know what I'm talking about, it went around the Discord, went around Twitter. Bellinger looked like a guy last year. You know, I would say he disappointed. Scoops. Yeah, scooping up the value with the pounders. Always. Okay, what was I talking about? Was running back, right? I don't think there's any Cardinals I want. Let me just go ahead and search for the Cardinals. Nah. No Rams. Unless we go with Parkinson, tight end, but I don't think I want that. At RB, could go Elijah Mitchell. Kind of a boring pick, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Nothing else made a ton of sense to me. There aren't any other Chicago players that I love in that range. If I just double check one more time and really think that through. Same thing with Arizona. Unfortunately didn't get the Rams to bring back. But I think this one ended up all right. I'll take another shot on an RB2 and a really good offense with Elijah Mitchell. Cool. Let's review the squad. So here's what we got going. I've done a few drafts, just about 32 best ball mania 5s. We're on a poodle. Let's check it out. How did the first poodle end up? Drafting out of the 7 spot. Yeah, just catching up with what Meanwhile was saying about Bellinger. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the Giants are definitely an undervalued team right now. So you can like, who's the wide receiver 2 for the Giants? Who's the tight end 1? Who's the RB 2? And is Danny Dimes going to come back and put up good numbers for fantasy? Can he hold down the starting job? Can he earn that paycheck, that big paycheck that they committed to him? So a lot of questions with the Giants. Excited to find out more about that situation. Let's review the teams now that the second draft is wrapped up, and then we'll call it a night on this late night stream. Thanks for being in the chat. Thanks for joining and hanging out with me tonight and drafting these teams. Appreciate you guys chilling here, hanging out with the garage. And the team recaps. Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins. Overall, one pocket passer, potentially set up in an elite offense. A lot of skill position players around him that are really solid. I don't have many of those skill position players on my team. I missed out on London and Pitts because I didn't think I was going to be taking Kirk Cousins, honestly. But I got Bijan, and that's the main connection. I do take Jaden Daniels, and I think he's the quarterback that I'm kind of banking on here. Rushing upside, could have a great rookie season. We'll see. Just won the Heisman. Sky's the limit here. He correlates well week 17. The Washington Commanders are playing the Atlanta Falcons. I got Bijan Robinson with my first pick. So anytime I can get my quarterback to correlate with my first or second overall pick in a meaningful way, I feel really good about that. I'm doubling down on my bet that I took that player in the first place. And if something goes right for Bijan in week 17, I'm either going to get the benefit potentially from Kirk Cousins out of that, or even Jaden Daniels trying to catch back up and throw for a ton, or rush for a ton, break a large play, and put up numbers. Joe Mixon was a solid little value scoop there, just a small one. Jonathan Brooks, I'm taking him on most of my teams. I'm going to have so much Jonathan Brooks exposure. It's probably unhealthy. I can't help it. I just know how good he is when he's healthy. Eckler made sense in the context of this team. Didn't have to go with him there. but he fell to a little bit of a value, and then gives me that Washington correlation. Dowdle, did not see him coming. 20 picks, ADP value. Although we know where we took him in the draft, at that point, it's more about, I would say, team fit and structure, an allocation of draft capital by position than so much just taking the big ADP faller. Because at the same time, my very next pick, I end up taking Luke McCaffrey ahead of ADP because he correlates with my team, my structure, and my need for a wide receiver. Instead of, at that point, it was Jalen Wright, who, if we look at the board, Jalen Wright had fallen, I want to say, 20 picks. Where's he end up going? Yeah. 20 picks or so. So this didn't make sense. I do get Braylon Allen on this squad. Probably didn't need him. Probably overkill at running back. You can only start 3 at maximum in any given week. And so, not necessarily a team where I needed Braylon, but the camp hype is getting to me a little bit. Definitely more excited to take him. Yeah, 180's nuts for Jalen. The wide receivers, Nico Collins, my favorite wide receiver in round 2. Not going to stop drafting Nico Collins. I think he's a young Andre Johnson on the rise. We're ready for his career year. He had a career year last year. Get ready for even more. CJ Stroud, unless he has some kind of sophomore slump, maybe he misses time. I don't see how Nico Collins can't improve on his numbers. He reminds me a lot of Julio Jones, the way he is dominant on the field, just big, fast, strong, catches the ball, short out routes, over the middle, makes big plays, available in the end zone. People forget Julio Jones had some years where he was kind of shy in the touchdown department, but dude's an end zone threat. Needless to say, I'm taking Zay Flowers a lot in the 3rd round. I give myself a little mini there. I'm already digging a hole with my week 14 bye issues, which I always find myself digging myself out of this week 14 wide receiver bye week issue. T. Higgins is a pick on this team that I think just kind of fits well with giving me some wide receiver depth. Same thing with Xavier Worthy and Ladd McConkey, rookie upside. Almost banked on getting Justin Herbert. We got sniped. I was kind of teeing that up with Joshua Palmer when I took him there. Like I said, I finished it out with Luke McCaffrey. A little bit of Rondale Moore on top. Sprinkle him in. Who knows what can happen. Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith. Punt, tight end build. Probably should have gone Ben Sinnott. Could have potentially gone late Zach Ertz. Not 100% necessary, though. Other team. Let's check in on the second poodle that finished up, which is actually the first one that we started. Funny how that happens. Cool. This team I like a little bit better. Kyler Murray and Caleb Williams, in my head, would rank slightly above a Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins QB room. Additionally, more of a, I'm going to call it hero RB build around Kenneth Walker. At the same time, I caught a falling Aaron Jones, scooped him up. I've been drafting Aaron Jones anywhere from pick, 69, pick 79, all throughout that range and across those 10 picks. I've never gotten him at 91. I take a good amount of Aaron Jones. Love getting him here at 91. Trey Benson fits in with my Kyler Murray bet very nicely. Rico Dowdle was on this squad as well. Took him pretty much at ADP. That's just funny. So keep an eye on that. My exposure to Dowdle is rising, but I think it's just a fair bet to make. And who knows what's going to happen with this Dallas backfield? Can Zeke really hold it down the whole season? Probably. But if not, we got Dowdle. Jalen Wright on this squad, actually, and he doesn't fall quite as far. I ended up taking him at 163. just more upside. When you're taking 6 running backs with most of them coming around pick 100 or later, you want upside. I think we get some upside there. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Aaron Jones does not typically go that late. Kind of bails me out a little bit. Helps this running back room, I would say, tremendously. We could imagine taking a lot of zeros from Jalen Wright or Elijah Mitchell in any given week. Potentially Trey Benson too, who knows. I'm kind of high on James Conner, but I got Benson super late too. I got bailed out all over the place. I mean, ADPs in the Poodle are not going to be the same as in Best Ball Mania. People making different choices, different drafters in these rooms, different price point, different finals size, different advancing structure through the playoff weeks. All those things contribute to changes in player takes, willingness to let guys fall that far past ADP. The wide receivers are in this team I'm super stoked on, regardless of the week 14 bye issue that keeps coming up. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Brandon Ayuk are 2 of my favorite wide receivers through the first 2 rounds. DJ Moore in the 3rd pairs up nicely, allowed me to go Caleb Williams when Brock Purdy ended up going like 70th overall. Really super, super early. And
Soldier Boy, tell.
This is the team I got Terry McLaurin on, though. Not the Jaden Daniels team. Terry McLaurin, though, I think he's undervalued. I want to be high on Terry McLaurin in my exposures. I'm taking him in the middle of the 40s, and here I get him in the kind of low middle 50s. Josh Downs, Jalen Polk, Michael Wilson, Devontae Walker to round it out. 4 young, rookie and sophomore players, looking for that upside kind of pick to balance out my veteran presence on the first half of my wide receiver room. I love this wide receiver room. It doesn't really play off of my quarterbacks extremely well. Obviously, DJ Moore does. The Amon-Ra and Ayuk wasn't able to get Goff or Purdy in this team and make it work. But I still like how that ended up. And I think Devontae Walker is kind of a fun pick. Trey McBride, Noah Fant, killed it with the tight ends here. Get my Trey McBride lined up with Kyler Murray. That's going to be a fun one. And then I get even more of a bring back with the Chicago Bears and the Seattle Seahawks. Playing week 17, I got Caleb Williams. So there's a chance that, Fant has a game. He's the guy you need. The bring back against the Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. 3 touchdown game, 200 yards, receiving by DJ Moore, that kind of thing. And yeah, that about does it. Wraps up my first 2 Poodle drafts. I think I'm going to call it a night at that. And I think I might be back out tomorrow night to stream a little bit more. We'll see if I double table some more Poodles. Most likely going to have to. It's going to fill so fast. If I want to get even close to maxing it. Yeah, thanks for being in the chat, Dale. Meatwad. Appreciate you guys. Hope you have a fantastic evening, a great weekend. Really enjoyed y'all being in the chat and talking it up, cutting it up football, best ball with me, talking the strategies. I'll see you guys in some future drafts. And peace out.